Hi everybody, welcome back to the Astral channel. For centuries, humanity has whispered about creatures that dwell just beyond perception. The Sasquatch, the Yeti, Bigfoot. Tales of towering ape-like beings have haunted forests, mountains, and snowbound peaks. Skeptics dismiss these stories as folklore or misidentified wildlife. But according to transcripts of Swaru of Era, the reality is far stranger and far more dangerous than popular imagination allows. Swaru describes Sasquatch as a semi-intraterrestrial anthropomorphic creatures. Unlike what most humans imagine, they do not simply roam forests or snowy landscapes. Instead, they live predominantly underground or within natural cavities, their habitats hidden and reinforced to remain undetectable. These subterranean homes are complex networks of tunnels and caves, often camouflaged with vegetation and stone lids. To a human passerby, they are invisible, concealed as if by design. Some are even described as having camouflage properties that make them invisible on conventional radar or photographic equipment, adding a layer of elusiveness beyond mere stealth. Their intelligence is profound and fundamentally different from human cognition. Swaru emphasizes that Sasquatch are not dumb monsters, but beings whose awareness and strategy operate on a different frequency. They perceive the world in ways humans cannot. Telepathy is their primary mode of communication, and this ability allows them to detect intruders, coordinate in silence, and remain elusive. In encounters with humans, they are often cautious, observing from a distance or actively avoiding detection. Yet some varieties are bold, aggressive, and territorial, especially when human intruders too deeply into their domain. Behaviorally, Sasquatch are predominantly carnivorous, hunting both animals and, in some extreme cases, humans who wander too close to their subterranean layers. Their hunting methods are meticulous. They construct spider holes. They're hidden traps covered with rock and foliage that can snare unsuspecting victims. This behavior draws eerie parallels to human wartime strategies, suggesting a level of tactical planning rarely attributed to non-human species. Reports compiled by Swaru suggest that these creatures have been responsible for a notable number of mysterious disappearances in national parks and remote wilderness areas. There are at least 5 distinct varieties of Sasquatch, each with unique physical and behavioral characteristics. Some are massive, towering over 7 feet tall. Others are smaller, more agile, and nearly impossible to track. While all varieties are carnivorous and highly intelligent, individual personalities differ. Some are aggressive and territorial. Others are cautious and even strangely tolerant to certain humans. Populations are not isolated. There appears to be a global network of Sasquatch with concentrations in North America, Siberia, and Asia. Despite myths suggesting their decline, Swaru maintains that populations are stable or increasing, quietly adapting to changes in human activity and environmental pressures. Sasquatch exists not just in the physical world, but also planes of consciousness largely inaccessible to humans. Swaru describes their presence as partially projected onto our 3D reality, meaning they inhabit dimensions humans cannot normally perceive. They are unaffected by what Swaru terms as the lunar or 3D frequencies, giving them an additional advantage in evading human observation. This also explains why conventional attempts to study them, cameras, footprints, DNA analysis, often fail or produce ambiguous results. Their telepathy and frequency manipulation allow them to avoid capture or unwanted attention. The intersection of Sasquatch with the human culture is striking. According to Swaru, characters like Chewbacca and other ape men in media are subtle tools of proxy disclosure, designed to familiarize humanity with the idea of a sentient hidden species without provoking panic. Governments, particularly in the United States, are said to know of their existence and actively suppress information. Classified operations, cover-ups, and disinformation campaigns ensure that mainstream society remains unaware even as these beings continue to thrive undisturbed. Metaphysically, some Sasquatch are allegedly manipulated by negative extraterrestrial entities, often described as reptilian, and have been modified for warlike or destructive purposes. One chilling example is the Dyatlov Pass Incident in Russia, where a modified Yeti may have been responsible for the mysterious deaths of 9 hikers in 1959. While these events are rare, they underscore the potential danger of encountering a being operating on both physical and metaphysical levels. Despite the danger, Sasquatch are not mindless predators. Their consciousness is evolved and in some respects superior to human awareness. They understand strategy, territorial control, and even the subtleties of energy and frequency. In certain cases, individual Sasquatch may display curiosity or caution that borders on friendly behavior, especially if the human demonstrates non-threatening intent. However, their fundamental orientation is survival, and they are cautious of invasive species, including humans. Swaru's narrative positions Sasquatch within a larger cosmic framework, connecting them to extraterrestrial intelligence, hidden global agendas, and the interplay of consciousness across dimensions. These beings are not merely cryptids or wildlife. They are living anomalies, operating outside the perception of ordinary humans and occupying a space where biology, consciousness, and metaphysics intersect. Their existence challenges conventional science, defies folklore stereotypes, and raises profound questions about the nature of intelligence and reality. To encounter a Sasquatch, one must transcend ordinary perception. Cameras, tracking devices, and physical observation are insufficient. Awareness, sensitivity to frequency, and the ability to perceive beyond 3D are required. These are creatures that observe silently from the shadows, operating on a level humanity is only beginning to glimpse. They are patient, intelligent, and very much alive. A hidden species quietly inhabiting the world beneath our feet and beyond our understanding. In the shadowed caves, camouflaged tunnels, and secret dimensions of our planet, the Sasquatch waits. A reminder that consciousness and life are far more complex than humanity can imagine. They are watchers, predators, and guardians of hidden realms, moving through a world that sees them only when they allow themselves to be seen. In every footprint, every whispered legend, and every unexplained disappearance, the presence of Sasquatch reminds us that our reality is only a fraction of what truly exists.